Hey everyone, how you doing? So I was just going over my generational wealth list, and this is want to document my journey for generational wealth. This is not financial advice. This is just myself documenting what this is what I want to do to build wealth for myself, but as well as to be able to pass it down for generations and to teach generations below me to do the same, and therefore we will hopefully change generations of the family of how they think and what we do for investing and stuff like that. So this is just me telling you guys what I'm doing, and it's not financial advice. So it's kind of playing around, and we've gotten the mini videos, gone through different stocks and ETFs. So I've kind of narrowed myself down to, I believe it's 35. So we got 35 on the list. So let's see here. Let me get a piece of paper. We can start this thing off. I can write this down so that we can get an idea of what this will look like. So I think start off with the ones that are paying the most. So there's a lot of them that are in ETFs, and a lot of those ETFs like COYY, they're yield boost or yield max ETFs. A lot of the ones are similar to that and stuff. Like I said, not financial advice, but my opinion is that you're getting your returns back in your dividends. So they're not really a growth for the stock. So I don't know, unless there's some catalyst that they're whatever they're based off, like COYY is on Coinbase, and so it's got Coinbase and it's got a lot of other investments, bonds and stuff like that they're invested in. But so obviously if Coinbase just totally like skyrockets, right, then of course you're going to get some boost from the yield from that COYY or from CONY. You're going to see a boost from it. But for the most part, I mean, they've gone down quite a bit, and that's just what they do, and they just pay out their dividend. And so my thought is, though, if I take these higher paying ones, they're paying 60, 80, 100, 200, 250% dividend yields, and you invest some money in there and then use those dividends to then buy in to the other investments. So therefore, kind of that's just what I'm doing. But I also kind of want to know, so we know that COYY, let's go here. We know that there's like 9 of them, I think. So it brings us to, well, I guess I'll tell you what they are. So COYY, TSYY, MSTY, FIAT, SMCY, ULTY, CONY, MRNY, and YBIT. So those are all the high paying 60% dividend. So really we get down here to the first one that I have on my list, which is ICON, and it's, I think, doing like 12% per year. So ICON, it's Icon Energy. It's $1.11. I'm sorry, $1.11 per share right now, and the dividend is 100% right now. They're paying out $9.40, and it's not really though, because it's so in 24. This is only a semi-annual though. That's a little scary, but every 6 months. And in September of 24, it paid out $3.20. In December of 16, it paid out $3.40, and then it only paid out 7 cents in May of 25. So anyway, this is one that I have, but this for the dividend growth doesn't have anything marked down. I actually think I'm going to take that one off. I don't know that really makes sense. I guess I didn't pay attention for that one. So ICON, I'm going to take off my list. Let's dump that one. So now we're down to 34. Okay, so from these, the next one then is IGD. So IGD, and this one here, so this has a dividend growth of 9%, let's just say. Might as well just round off. It pays a dividend yield of 10%. So it's paying out, looks like 5 cents monthly per share, and it's at $5.70. So it seems like that's pretty good. So this is IGD, and this is at 9%, let's say. And then the next one is BTX. So BTX, and this one is 18% growth, and this is paying 14%. Is a BlackRock Trust ETF. It's at $6.63. So this is BTX, and this is 18% growth. And then the next one is APLE. So APLE, we've got no dividend growth. Ooh. It is paying out. It's an Apple Hospitality REIT. It's 8%. It is monthly. I think I just want ones that are paying. Let's take this one off the list. APLE. I'm going to take that one off. So apparently I don't have my list figured out. Okay, we are now at MO. This one is at 58.19. Dividend is 7%, and it's had a dividend growth of 4%. MO 4%. I like, with the dividends, like I said, not financial advice. Just I say that often, but you know what? Like I don't want someone to get the wrong impression, and I just, I'm really just documenting my journey. But I'm sure if you talk to financial people, they're going to tell you, I got no idea what I'm doing. And I probably don't. But in my mind, I'm just like, so I've got those yield max, right? They're paying out really high dividends. You're probably just getting your original investment back. Who knows what they're going to be worth once you've gotten your money back. You probably get your money back in a year, maybe a year and a half. You probably get your money back, maybe even 8 months on some of them. But the point is that if I'm going to do in a dividend stock, I want some growth. I mean, it did 1%. You know what I mean? Like I want to see some dividend growth. So it kind of bothers me. Like you can't even give me 0.5%. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, because otherwise, then it's just like to me in my mind, it's just like one of the yield max. And why do I want 7% when I can go invest the same amount of money and get 50, 60, 100%? So I like ones that are going to give me some kind of, anyways, PFE. Let's see what PFE is. I think this is Fiserv. It's a 6.8%, $25 a share. It is quarterly, and it is a dividend growth of 2.3, but let's just say 2% PFE. See, even like that, like just give me something. UPS. We are at a see, like the dividend growth, it's a 0.5%. I mean, it's not much, but UPS pays out. It's a 6.8%, and they've got a ratio over 100% payout ratio. So they've been doing it for 15 years. It's a good It's a good dividend paying one, so might as well keep it. AES. Dividend growth at 2%. AES, it's at $13.82. It's paying 5%. Target. TGT. $89, 5%. And we've had a 1.8%. I'm just going to put 1%. Yeah, I'm rounding down. CWEN. CWEN. 4% dividend, $36 a share, but we've had a 6%. CWEN. 6.85. Excuse me. That was a CWEN. And the next one we have is Campbell, CPB. CPB. 5%. CPB. 5. Well, it's 5.4, but let's just put 5%. $31 a share, and it's paying 5%. CVX. Some of these are very low growth. I probably shouldn't even really have on the list, but I just kind of like them. I think there is kind of a potential, but anyway, CVX is 4.9% growth, 4% per year dividend, $157, but it's paid out 30 years. A growth years is 38 years, so I mean it's a pretty solid stock. I kind of like that. MUR. I like, for some reason, it's a 9.78, 4% dividend, $30 a share. This is Murphy Oil. Pepsi, and we have Macy's. Pepsi. 6% growth, 4% dividend, and $145 per share. And Macy's is $20 a share, 3.65% dividend, and 5% growth. I got Nike, NKE. So some of these are not dividends. Nike is $64, 2% dividend, and it's an 8% growth. And I've got, so like here it becomes, so I've got Barrick Mining, AG Silver, so therefore you got the mining, gold and silver. Barrick is gold. Chewy, Abbott, it's an American Battery, ABAT. FUBO, which is Fubo TV. HIV, which is HIV blockchain. Honest, HNST. Amazon, AMZN. CMG is Chipotle. And APLD, which is Applied Science. So they don't pay, I don't believe that they pay dividend. I think Barrick pays like 2%. And AG pays like 0.25% or something. But those two, I just think that having some mining, gold and silver, I think that that's just solid investment for the company. And then I think the other, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stocks are more for growth. So these dividend ones so far. So let's see here. We've got APLD, CMG, AMZN, HNST, FUBO, ABAT, HIVE and CHWY. For some reason, I like Chewy. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to have much growth. We'll find out, but I just like it. So I don't know if these really show. I guess I'll use the forecast. So if I'm on a stock website that does analyzing, their target price for APLD is going to be 24%. So I've got a 24%. Let's do a CMG. And that's probably over the next year or so is going to be CMG is 48%. I think Amazon's going to do really well. It's only 19%, but still, I'm really thinking it's going to do well. HNST. I feel like that the honest is so low. It's probably going to go up 140% for honest. I really think it's at 250. I think it's really going to hit that $6, $7 mark. I really do. I think those are really good investments. Help bring the account up. Fubo, we're probably talking 48. These are what the analysts are saying. I mean, I was kind of agreeing with it. So I'm like, yeah, this is something that's ABAT. Nobody really has any of that future stuff. So I don't know. We'll have to think about that. HIVE forecast 131, 130%. Yeah, I don't know why they don't have a forecast for American Battery. CHWY 35%. Yeah, see, and I just really like Chewy, but anyway, the Barrick Mining, they're saying maybe a 10% dividends. It's had a 31% of dividend growth. So let's just put 30% for dividend growth. And then we've got AG, and they've had a 12% dividend growth. And they pay out a pretty small amount. I mean, 0.17%, so it's not even a quarter. But anyways, I think they're going to have really good growth. So it looks like on this list, it looks like ABAT is the only one that doesn't really show anything. I just was thinking because of all the cars and stuff that we're probably going to have. So I think I'm going to want to put this. So let's take these two out. So we've got APLE and battery. So APLE, and then this ABAT. So that's really my list. That's the list that I've got right there, and I think that's going to leave us now with 33, I think. And so I think what I'll do, so let's just see here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So there's 23 that have for the growth, right? And if I have no idea whether this is the way you do it, but if I do a 9%, 18, 4, 2, that one that's 0.5%, I'm not even going to put that in there. So Honest Company and Hive, they were both saying that they were in the 100 and something. So wait, I've got 368. 368. So on Hive and honest, they were saying 140%, 130%. That's what the analysts are predicting. I just took the one off. I'm just going to do Hive 30% and honest 40%. I think that's just a fair thing. So if I take 368 and divide that by 23, it's an average of 16%. So on average, right, these stocks that I've picked should get a 16% increase. So automatically right there, right, this list that I've put together is, if I bought one share of each, it's $1,219, and the dividends should be paying out 10.8. So let's just call it 10. So it's 10%, which is a low number, but it's still really good. And it's $1,200. But if you take the 16% and add that onto the 10, we're really getting 26%. So if I do that as 26% return, I'm just buying one share or 100 shares or 1,000 shares of each one of these, right? And just going that route. So, that's kind of where I look at it, and I like that. I think this is really a good list. I think we're at like 33 because we took a couple off. We were at like 35, but I think we're now at 33. Anyway, that's my list. Hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for watching.